You know what? I'm a political blogger. I already talk about politics enough. I think I'm going to commentate on something apolitical today. And I have found the perfect topic to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, meet TonySonic, a YouTuber who is a massive Sonic fan, which we both have in common, and who has done various Everything Wrong with parodies on Charriii5's Everything Wrong with parodies of various video games, mostly Sonic. The specific video I'm going to be covering is his Everything Wrong with on Charriii5's classic Sonic videos, in which he responds to Charriii5's videos on Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic CD, and Sonic Spinball. So, with all of that said, let's get into this. Oh, also, I'll be skipping his intro, just so you all know. I feel like I should make a joke about the Keen Master watermark, but I honestly can't think of anything.
Ow, my eyes! What do I even look at?
Okay, Tony, this display looks terrible. All you essentially did was just put your own sin counter at the top of the video, which is a bit of an issue because now I can't see Charriii's sin counter. Wouldn't it have made more sense to change the resolution of the video so it could fit your sin counter as well as Charriii's? Just saying.
Okay, I've heard several people complain about this part, but as someone who's played Sonic 1 a bunch, I've never had this problem, so what gives?
You've never had what problem? The only thing Charriii said was that he personally felt the special stages didn't look very good. Are you saying you've never had issues looking at them? Okay, well, how does that disprove Charriii's point? Especially considering Charriii's point was entirely subjective.
So, wait, you give us this wall that we're supposed to roll into, but you didn't give us an easier way to dash while spinning into it?
Come on, that's more than enough space to work up a roll.
Really? Because the footage clearly showed Charriii attempting to roll and only breaking through about half of the wall.
So, wait, you give us this wall that we're supposed to roll into, but you didn't give us an easier way to dash while spinning into it? You put the special stage ring right after the goalpost, which takes away my control after I touch it?
It is possible to run back to it if you're fast enough.
Okay, I assume you're referring to that glitch where if you jump at the right time, you can walk around the end screen while it's loading the next level and while it's calculating your points and all that. And if that is what you're referring to, you do know that's a glitch, right? As in something the programmers didn't intend to happen?
Did you like the high-speed platforming and fun-level design of Green Hill Zone? Great! F*** you, here's slow-ass Marble Zone.
That's called variety.
I guess, but Charriii's point was more that it was a very jarring change. Especially when you consider how fast Green Hill Zone was compared to how slow Marble Zone was. The issue at hand is not that Marble Zone is different from Green Hill Zone, it's that the game suddenly shifts from Green Hill Zone to a zone that is incredibly different.
Wait, this special stage is different from the last one I failed at. I have to cycle through special stages? How can I practice them?
You can't, and you should get used to it because several subsequent Sonic games don't let you practice the special stages.
Okay, well that doesn't exactly disprove Charriii's point. Yeah, that's the case in other Sonic games. That doesn't mean it's still not a problem. For that matter, let's actually talk about the games you used as examples. Your example of Sonic Advance, I guess works, however you ignore the fact that in Sonic Advance the Chaos Emeralds are tied to each of the 7 zones, hence why you can only get the Chaos Emerald in that specific zone. Meanwhile, your comparison to Sonic 3 & Knuckles just doesn't work, because although the special stages do cycle in that game, you have many more chances to get them than you do in Sonic 1. For those who don't know, in Sonic 1 you can only get one special stage in the first 2 acts of each zone except Scrap Brain, so you have 10 chances to get all 6 Chaos Emeralds. In 3 & Knuckles, how many special stages you can get in every level varies from level to level, but there are overall 77 special rings, meaning you have 77 chances to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds and all 7 Super Emeralds. Again, compared to the 10 you have to get the 6 Chaos Emeralds in Sonic 1.
Does that say cope? What, did you know I was having a hard time playing this game?
Charriii points out things on the screen cliché. Also, you're struggling with Sonic 1? Sonic 1 is the simplest of the classic Sonic games. If you're struggling with this game, then you suck.
First off, nice elitism there, TonySonic. Can I touch it? Second off, I like how you say it's the simplest, not the easiest, and then say it's an issue that Charriii is struggling with it. Again, even though simple and easy are not the same things. For example, the original Mega Man is an overall simpler game than, say, Mega Man 5 or 6. But most people would argue that the first Mega Man is harder than 5 or 6. Do you see the issue here?
Labyrinth Zone.
The meme is dead and it should feel dead.
What does that even mean? How do you feel dead? And yes, I know it's a Futurama reference, but the actual line was, your music is bad and you should feel bad, which makes sense because you can't actually feel bad. You can't feel dead, especially if you're a meme, meaning you don't even materially exist, nor can you feel anything.
How the hell am I supposed to know to hold back in order to actually jump off this water slide?
You figure it out.
Well, I can't argue with that.
This game was made in the era where games tell you almost nothing, so it's our only option.
Yeah, and that led to a variety of highly cryptic games that were badly designed because of just how cryptic they were. Super Pitfall, Milon's Secret Castle, Simon's Quest, all of these come to mind as examples.
This isn't really a boss battle, this is just platforming.
I mean, you still have to hit Eggman, don't you?
No, you don't. You just have to survive the gauntlet and make it to the capsule at the end of the stage. You don't have to hit Eggman a single time to beat this boss. In fact, it's not really a boss so much as it is more an obstacle course, if I'm being honest.
Sound produce? I don't know if vegetables made sound in this game.
Heh funny. But seriously, typos aren't sins. They're nitpicks.
Okay, first off, nitpicks are sins. That's kind of how this whole format works. You're supposed to nitpick the product you're sinning. Second off, why aren't typos sins exactly? There's still something wrong with the product that therefore could count as an issue with it, so why can't they count as sins? Like I said to Keyblade Master, nitpicks aren't wrong, they're just minor and usually irrelevant to the overall quality of the product.
Discount Green Hill Zone.
Sorry, but that doesn't work since Emerald Hill is different in both looks and design.
How? They're both open green areas that exist to teach you how to play the game. They're also both fast-paced, and oh yeah, the second word in both of their names is literally the same. How are they different exactly?
Okay, how is that a boss?
Because it still attacks you, even though it's really slow, and you still have to attack it.
Wait, so your definition of a boss is just something that attacks you and something that you have to attack? You do know under that definition, basically every badnik in this game would count as a boss, right?
Yeah, really fucking fairground or just bust out of the wall while I have very little time to react.
You really expected the bad guys to play fair? Not to mention the wall he breaks out of is colored a bit differently, which could tip you off.
How dare he want the game to have fair level design? Is it just me, or does this sound less like a response and more like apologetics?
Why are Sonic and Tails' names and faces plastered all over this casino? Do they own it? Who built this place?
Nobody cares!
Hey!
Nobody cares!
First off, lol XD funny media clip of SMG4. Second off, okay, so nobody cares, and therefore that's an issue because, again, the point of these videos is to be somewhat nitpicky. And even if you are right that nobody cares, that doesn't exactly prove Charriii5 wrong. You do understand that, right? Of course you don't.
Oh, I guess there's just no boss. Act 3! What is this, Sonic 1?
While I will admit that Metropolis Zone is pretty hard by this game's standards, a third act isn't too bad considering it's the second last level of the game. No, Sky Chase and Death Egg Zone don't count as levels, more like chase sequences and final battlegrounds.
So, wait, Sky Chase doesn't count as a level because it's a chase sequence? So, does the first act of Marouge Saloon from Sonic Mania also not count as a level under this way of thinking? Oh, also, Charrii's issue wasn't that the third act of Metropolis Zone was hard. I don't even know where you got that. It was that Metropolis Zone was the only zone in the game to have 3 acts.
What did you even think that laser was gonna do?
At least he didn't sit there like, oh, I guess it's time to die.
And? Do you actually have an argument against what Charriii is saying? No? Okay. This video is terrible.
I can't believe they expect people to beat 2 bosses in a row, one which takes 8 hits and the other takes 16 with 0 rings. Not one damn safety net.
Well, excuse the game for wanting to give you a challenging final boss. I know someone's going to argue with me on this, but to that I say, man up and fight the damn robot.
So your entire argument basically comes down to get good, scrub. Okay.
These special stages are disorienting as hell with their trippy-ass backgrounds and pseudo 3D.
Why would you focus on the background? That's not where the action is.
Because it's still part of the special stage, and it's incredibly, for lack of a better word, noticeable.
Also, speak for yourself with the pseudo 3D.
You know, say everything you want about Charrii's videos, at least he's, giving reasons as to why he feels the way he does. Unlike you, who is just saying, well, I don't agree, and then calling it a day. Speak for yourself is not an argument. It's a statement, and a pretty obvious one at that. Yeah, obviously he's speaking for himself. Who else would he be speaking for exactly? But even if you don't agree, just pointing out that he is, in fact, speaking for himself doesn't disprove what he's saying. And yet, arguments like that, these sentence-long rebuttals that basically come down to know you. Or no, not even know you. I'm going to correct myself on that. It's more like, you're saying that. You don't even have the no, you're just saying you, and then calling it an argument. Is most of your rebuttals, giant quotes, to Charrii's claims. This video's incredibly infuriating because of that.
This is factually the worst boss in Sonic the Hedgehog history.
Sonic 4's Metal Robotnik has entered the chat.
Quick question. How? The Metal Robotnik fight is, at the very least, a lot harder than the fight in Sonic CD that Charriii is showing. If only because the Metal Robotnik boss can actually hurt you, while Robotnik in this fight has springs on his arms that can't hurt you. Now, I should note, this was most likely done because it's the first boss and it was meant to be a simple introduction to how the bosses in Sonic CD work. For those who don't know, Sonic CD's bosses are quite a bit different than the bosses in the other Sonic Genesis games. In the sense the goal isn't so much to just mindlessly hit Robotnik 8 times, as it is to go through this almost puzzle in order to figure out how exactly to hit Robotnik. Robotnik usually only goes down in a couple of hits, but actually hitting him is much harder in every CD boss than it would be in even the most difficult bosses in Sonic 1, 2, or 3 ampersand Knuckles. Sorry, I'm making a point more complicated than a simplistic quip, or, in the case of TonySonic, you argument. So, my mistake. Let's get back to the video.
Funny, but you already sinned this.
Hey look, it's bounced the level.
Hey look, who cares?
Where do I go?
Figure it out or stay here forever, wimp.
So Charriii sitting the same thing multiple times is bad, but you sitting the same thing multiple times is okay, I guess.
Eggman made an insta-death laser that ignores my ring count and never uses it again.
Because he's made several superior machines since then.
Name one. Because the only other thing I can think of that Robotnik's come up with that ignores your ring count in any other Sonic game is the hand in one boss in Sonic Advance 2.
Cool, I love that for bonus stage I get to play more pinball.
Everything wrong with Sonic's Spinball, ladies and gentlemen. A pinball platformer makes you play pinball.
But what if he just wants some of that variety you defended Marble Zone with? Huh? This video is so frustrating to watch.
If and when you die, and trust me, you will die in this game, every path you unlock resets, meaning you have to unlock everything again. And you can say, oh, that's not so bad, it's just pinball. No, it is not. The objective of pinball is to score points, no more. Here I have to get emeralds, we should beat the boss, and move on to the next stage, which is impossible with a pinball platformer. And yes, you can slightly move left and right midair, but that hardly makes a difference if you're bouncing off shit all the time, picking up momentum every time you do.
A, this is normal for games that came out in the 90s.
What's normal? He listed like 3 things there. Do you mean there not being checkpoints? Because that's wrong. Most other games in the 90s did have checkpoints. In fact, they were pretty important in Sonic 2, considering they were how you got to the special stages. Do you mean that the controls are bad in most 90s games? Because, first off, I could point to several counterexamples, but even then, so what? That doesn't make it better. Or are you saying that most games in the 90s were completely genre-defying? Because that can't be true by definition.
B, it's not impossible. It's difficult, but not impossible, for those of us who are competent. And C, you can still control Sonic's movement a little bit.
Charriii acknowledged that, before basically saying that it didn't matter because of just how much you were bouncing off of in Spinball.
And yes, you can slightly move left and right midair, but that hardly makes a difference if you're bouncing off shit all the time, picking up momentum every time you do.
Anyway, literally none of his other points are even slightly interesting, so I'm going to end it here. Final thoughts? This video just came off like he was trying to respond to Charriii through making as many quips as possible as opposed to actually arguing against what Charriii was saying. I understand that these everything wrong with videos are usually very simplified, however, this was so much so to the point where I'm not even sure what he was trying to argue half the time. Overall, this video was just an incredibly frustrating watch, as I continuously had to guess as to what his point even was. And the fact that he was more focused with just saying, "You're wrong," as opposed to actually explaining why Charrii's wrong didn't help matters. Good night, and good luck.